Good morning. So in this video we will learn about begin transaction in SQL. In SQL, begin transaction is used to start a new transaction. A transaction is a sequence of one or more SQL statements that are executed as a single unit of work. The main purpose of using a transaction is to ensure atomicity, consistency, isolation and durability of a database operations. The key points of transactions are atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Now let's discuss them one by one. Atomicity ensures that all operations within a transaction are completed successfully. If any operation fails, the entire transaction fails and the database is left unchanged. Consistency ensures that the database remains in the consistent state before and after the transaction. Isolation ensures that the transactions are isolated from each other. That is, the intermediate states of the transaction are not visible to other transactions. Durability ensures that once a transaction is committed, it will remain so, even in the event of system failure. To start a transaction, we use the begin transaction statement. This marks the beginning of a set of operations that we want to execute as a single unit. Begin statement starts a new transaction. It marks the beginning of a set of operations that should either all succeed together or fail together. Once all the operations within a transaction are executed successfully, we can commit the statement to make the changes permanent. Committing a transaction means that all the changes made during the transaction are now saved in the database. If something goes wrong during the transaction, we can use the rollback statement to undo all changes made so far. This brings the database back to the state before the transaction began. So there are three statements used in the transaction control. Begin transaction, this marks the start of transaction. Commit, this saves all changes made during the transaction to the database. And rollback, it is used to undo changes made in the current transaction, reverting the database to its state before the transaction.